Good morning, fellow students and dear teachers. It is a great opportunity for all of us to be here once again. Welcome to our second day of online evangelism. Today, I will speak to you about overcoming through Jesus. How can we overcome evil with good? One of the reasons that the Bible was given to us is to instruct and correct us. Quite often, the Bible goes against the flow of the way we naturally think and behave. One of those instructive and corrective statements is found in Romans 12 verse 21. It says, "Do not be overcome by evil, but overcome evil with good." This is one of the verses that goes against your instinct. For many, when you are confronted with evil, a typical response is to strike back with evil. You hit me, I will hit you back, and try to do it even harder. If you have ever felt that way, it does not mean you are not a Christian. It simply means you are human. Yet despite this natural desire to want to strike back, God desires us to have a different reaction, wanting us to overcome evil with good. How can we overcome evil with good? Let's start with some realities. You will have enemies in this world. You will have people who will not like you and may want to do harm to you. This may not always be physical harm. For example, they may try to hurt your reputation. Social media is good for doing that. Because of the sinful fallen world we live in, you must recognize the possibility that you can and will experience the effects of sin and evil in this life. Sad to say this, but this will not just come from people who are outside the church. Sometimes other Christians will do evil to you. When you are confronted with evil and you respond with evil, then you have been conquered by evil. However, if you don't want to be conquered by evil, then the only way to overcome that is by doing the opposite, which is good. By doing good, it helps to set aside the desire to want to respond with evil. Let's use a math equation to help understand this. I hope you remember negative and positive numbers. Negative plus negative equals a number more negative. Negative plus positive equals a number more positive. The point is that you cannot conquer evil if you are overcome by it. You can only conquer it by doing the opposite, which in this case is good. What is the context of Romans 12? The book of Romans was Paul's letter to the church in Rome. This section begins with a discourse about love in action. Paul gives clear instructions on how we should live with those who are for us and with those who are against us. Look at these instructions, because within these instructions, you will discover how you can overcome evil with good. Bless those who persecute you. Bless and do not curse. Rejoice with those who rejoice. Mourn with those who mourn. Live in harmony with one another. Do not be proud, but be willing to associate with people of low position. Do not repay anyone evil for evil. Be careful to do what is right in the eyes of everyone. If it's possible, as far as it depends on you, live at peace with everyone. Do not take revenge, my dear friends, but leave room for God's wrath. On the contrary, if your enemy is hungry, feed him. If he is thirsty, give him something to drink. In doing this, you will heap burning coals on his head. Paul lays out very clearly the steps it takes to overcome evil with good. Even though the steps are clear, they are always not easy. Now may I ask you, how can we overcome evil with good? Take these instructions and make it practical to our everyday lives. First, think about your words and actions. The first practical step is treat those who are evil towards you with kindness. To respond in kindness typically requires a slower response, not an immediate one. You may have to take a moment to think about what you will say or how you will respond in this situation, which follows the wisdom from James of being slow to speak and slow to become angry. Number 2. Be a peacemaker. Another one of Paul's instructions was not to be the troublemaker. We are encouraged just to live in peace, but do everything we can to create and maintain peace with everyone. This means that in difficult situations, look to become a peacemaker instead of a fire maker. This may require you to walk away from some arguments. It means that you let the other person win the debate. You might have to be the first one to apologize even if you were not in the wrong. Being a peacemaker means you may willingly give up your right to be proven right for the sake of maintaining peace. And third, be a contrarian. Feeding your enemy when he is hungry or giving him something to drink when he is thirsty is the opposite of what you may want to do. Yet, this is what God requires us to do. He is telling us to treat our enemies better than they expect, or better than they deserve. I know this feels like a tough pill, but you must remember, when you do this, you are responding in the exact way that God treats us. If you are human and normal, if someone has wronged you or done evil to you, it is possible you may ask, why should I be kind to my enemies? They certainly weren't kind to me. Let me give you 3 important reasons why this is important. The first reason, your kindness leaves room for repentance. The second reason, your kindness leaves room for reconciliation. And the third reason, your kindness leaves room for God to repay. When we respond in kindness, it leaves room for the possibility of repentance and reconciliation. We should never forget what it is, God's kindness that leads us to repentance. When it comes down to how we can overcome evil with good, you must acknowledge that it is a work of grace that God must do in your heart. May God give us the grace to love those who are against us, and help us to overcome the natural desire to respond with evil. This is my prayer.